The Larmanjat Monorail, or how a Frenchman designed a British-built railway for Portugal and ran trials in my hometown in Essex. Here is a map of Portugal and the area of concern, and some key towns and cities locating where these monorails of Portugal ran. Initially from Lisbon to Torres Vedras, please excuse the pronunciation, with a second railway running from Lisbon to Sintra. The red dotted lines represent subsequent Portuguese Iberian gauge railways, and the red area represents the current Lisbon metropolitan area. So a brief history of the Paris exhibition of 1867 with some illustrations here. This is the only known image of Larmanjat, and this very brief biography is all that I can find without extensive research. Here are some of the illustrations demonstrating the trial runs in Paris as part of the 1867 exhibition. Here are some of the diagrams that survive, showing the workings of the guide rail and the driving rails of wooden sleepers. A very fine image of locomotive number 1, named Lisboa, built by the Sharp, Stewart and Company of Manchester, and a not so fine image of number 7 locomotive Lumiere. The trial locomotives were not named. On the 6th of April 1875, the Lisbon Steam Tramway Company issued a notice in the press to say that railway services were temporarily halted and they never ran again. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Buckhurst Hill and Knighton Wood area, here is a series of locational diagrams to show you the area in which the trials in Essex took place. Here is an image that featured in the local press of locomotive number 2, Sintra, going through its trials in Knighton Wood. Imagine a track bed of 2 planks of wood divided by a central iron rail. Trains were driven by wide flat wheels and a central single 111 formation which guided train movement via a double flanged wheel. French engineer Jean Larmanjat invented this monorail. He exhibited at the Paris exhibition of 1867. The system was sold to the Lisbon Steam Tramways Company and constructed for 2 routes in Portugal, totalling 80 kilometres. Its turning circle was as little as 10 metres. Trials took place in December 1870 here in Lord's Bushes in Buckhurst Hill, Essex. The entire lane was covered in a time of 60 seconds or 31 kilometres an hour. The first day was a success, but the second and last day saw traction problems after rain in the night and a lack of sand for the locomotives. Portugal had similar experiments which all fared well. The 2 lines were built and served for just 3 years before being abandoned due to excessive breakdowns and derailments.